Hi, this is Charlie giving you Friday's live trading. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock UK time, and I haven't seen anything just yet. Even though this 5-minute chart of the pound looks quite good, doesn't it? Just how it opened up. Let's have a quick look. Puts you into a bit more perspective when you look at the hourly chart there. So I haven't actually seen any specific setups just yet this morning. So I'm going to press pause. I've got Mike coming over today. So a trader that I've coached over the past year, so he's going to be sat here. So hopefully at some point here this morning we're going to find something. So I'll press pause for now, and then we'll come back. So I'm just going to bring okay. So just come back here. It's now just coming up to 1:30. We've not had anything material on today, so we've just left this alone. I've got one of our custom traders with me. And so he's sat beside me at the moment. Like I say, it's just coming up to 1:30. We've got the new retail news coming out. So we're going to see what happens with that retail news. I am looking to trade it. Excuse me. So yeah, I will be looking to trade this the retail. It's just a case of which way it's going to go. So I think if the retail figures come out very positive, they're due to come out at 0.2. I think if they beat that, then we could see the euro really come down quite nicely. Likewise, if they miss, then we might see a bit of a rally. So I'm quite happy to go either way here today. So we have got about 10 seconds to go. I'll press pause for a minute. Okay, so we're coming down a bit. So I'm relying on my traders in the room to tell me what the figures were. 0.3. Okay, I'm going to be looking to sell this. We'll be looking to sell this on a little retracement. So see if we can. I'm watching all of my screens off screen, so I may just have to wait for. We've got all of my momentum is lined up. I'm just watching. This is no sort of major fireworks here today, so we may just wait for the 5-minute bar to lock in actually, because there's no real major fireworks just at the moment, and but. It should be a sell. Let's have a look here across my time frames. They're all looking okay. So it's just a case of seeing how we lock in. So let's see if we can lock this one in, and then I'll press pause for a second. Okay, right. So we are coming down. So this is looking a lot better now. So I wanted that bit more confirmation. I've been triggered in on a trade because I'd already had a sell stop order in. So, but really, that was just in case I wasn't going to be around here today when I set that this morning. So, yeah, it's looking much more positive for getting in on the short side now. Now we've come down that a little bit more. So, just hopefully, I can get in on that trade. So we'll soon find out, I guess. So, looks like I'm going to have to press pause again just for a minute, and then I'll be looking to sell this into the outer bands if I can. Get a trade off there, so a sell into the outer band. So we'll soon find out. Press pause for a minute. Okay, so I'm looking to get in anywhere just a bit above here. If we can get back up to over 10, then I'll be starting to edge in here. So that's all I'm looking for. So it just was at 10, but time I press play, then it's moved again. So let's see if we can get up towards 10ish, that sort of area, and I'll start edging in. And I'll go put 4 units in. So let's see if we can get it, or if I just missed my opportunity. Now, like I said, I've been triggered in on 1 unit, but that trigger in was at 124.10. Fun enough, I just put that order in early this morning. But obviously, we want to see if we can get some more units in. So at the moment, I might have to press pause in a minute if it takes much longer. I'm going to have to press pause. Okay, so I'm just back. We're coming back up a little bit. We still haven't hit 10 yet, and as I've just pressed record, no, it's bouncing back down again. But so I just want to try and get a few entries in here. But like I said, I've got 1 entry in, which was just on a sell stop order from this morning. But that's only 1 entry, and so still want to see if I can get some more in. Feels a bit sluggish. It's not exactly followed through. We've had this bounce down, push down, and now we're just sort of bouncing around. So I'm not in a huge rush to put lots in just yet. I'll be quite happy if we come into my bands here, if we can get into there to get a bit higher. Then I'll be putting a stop up here in the sort of mid to upper 30s, and then hopefully that's enough. So I'll press pause because it's still not quite got. Okay, so just back again. So I'm still waiting to see if we can get above 10. on my sell side, and then I'll put a unit in. But I suspect we're probably going to come a bit higher than that, so I'm not in too much of a rush. But there we go. Right, first one's in at 11. So I've shorted here 1 unit 11, and then I'll just start. I want to get like say about 4 units in. So let's get another one in here. So at least I've got 2 units that I've put in manually now. I've got 1 in already from earlier on. And really I'm just going to wait for price, see if price can get up to maybe around about the 20 level, and that's where I'll be looking to add in some more. And then it's a case of really whether we are going to indeed roll over, or whether this thing is just going to stop. We've hit a daily S2 pivot down here, so we have hit some support, and we've hit some support from a couple of days ago as well. So I'm very aware that we have hit some support zones there, and so we may be able to have our stop maybe about 30, actually low 30s now. The longer it takes, then the better it is. I can move my stop down. So it's just a case of seeing what happens. So I'll press pause for a second. Right, okay, so I'm just back here. It's just coming up to 20. I just want to see if it's going to hit my upper band here. Even though it's already hit these previously, I might as well just see if we can hit that, and then I'll get these extra 2 units in. But I'm not feeling. It's funny. Sometimes you've got a feel for a trade, and other times you haven't. I don't have a great feel for this trade. I'm going to continue seeing this trade through, but sometimes you look at it and you think, well, the price action doesn't look, fantastic. But it doesn't mean to say that it can't work itself out. So I've just pressed record again. It's done its usual, and it's just backed off away from me. So I'm still waiting here, so we can get back up to these bands. Then I'll get these extra 2 units in, and then I'll be putting a stop at about 35, so about here, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a strange one that we didn't follow through some more first, and we've come back up a bit. So, but I'll still give it a go. The trend has been down. There's a bit of negative momentum, but not a lot actually. So this may be a stalling process before we actually do a big reversal. It's possible, but I'll go with the trend for now, and we'll see. So I'll press pause. Right, so this euro, we didn't quite get there. I was just looking to add those final 2 units at the outer band here, and then it just rolled over. So at the moment we're just rolling over a little bit. It's all very sluggish price behavior, I must say. We've got the consumer sentiment figures out at 5 to 3. Now I'm conscious I've got to get this video update out to you, and I'm going to be leaving this house, my house no, we can probably wait a little bit longer actually. So, but probably going to be leaving in an hour and a half. I need to get this video update out. So once that news is out, then I'm going to want to try and make this a wrap. So if this price can get back down towards these prior lows, then I'll just trail my stop right away down to this high, and then just see how it goes. So so at the moment, let me show you the positions. Now, can I add any more in at the moment? It's going to be a difficult one to add in now, because the band's that much lower. I'm not interested in if it comes up to the band again. So it may just be now I'm forced out of being able to add to this position, because I can't see any other levels particularly that look that interesting. So let's take that off. I haven't actually got the stops in place at the moment. So let's so here's the 3 positions that we are in. So I've got to put the stops in place. So 124, 35. I'll just put it at 35 for a minute. So these are the 2 I put in. I'd already had one in. It was just an order if I was going to be out. So I better put the stops in all at the same level. Right, so that's where we are. So now just a case of what's going to go on, but I've moved the stop to 124.30 just to give it a little bit of slack whilst we're waiting. We've got about 40 minutes to go until the consumer sentiment figures are out, just to give it a little bit of slack, but I will be looking to trail that stop down a bit. And the way that we've not really pushed through as yet is, it's just a bit that there's no real follow through. So, but hopefully it can. Maybe it's just going to be one of those days where it just takes a while and then rolls over. But we'll see. One thing I'm conscious of is that if we don't want to push lower, this euro is very, very oversold on the daily charts, and that if the euro was to start to mount a rally at any time, any day, it could be next week, whenever, as and when it does start, then there could be quite a a half decent rally coming on the euro dollar as and when it does happen. But as we all know, with oversold markets, they can remain oversold as well. They can continue to carry on going lower. So I'm not trying to catch the falling knife, but if we were to come up, then I would be interested in that. So I'll press pause for now and do this. Okay, so just back, the consumer sentiment figures have just come out. We've come down a little bit, so I'm going to trail the stop down to 27 now, down to that high. So I'm just moving the stops down just off screen at the moment, as we're actually, I'll move it to 26 because that means it'll stop me at 27. So we are coming down a bit, and okay, I'm just moving all my stops around off screen. This really needs to get a move on though, and couldn't say I'm overly convinced unless it can really follow through. So it's coming down. At least I've trailed the stop down a bit to 26 here, but you know, it's just had this little bit of a move and it's already stopped stalling. So we need to see this carry on. So let's see. Now if we can get back down towards these lows, then finally, I mean, I still won't even be able to trail my stop down to break even at that stage, but I might be able to move it down a bit more. I see the pound off screen, and the pound dollar was the better trade to take, because when the euro did that little bounce, the pound did this little bounce, but then look, the pound has carried on going to new lows, whereas the euro, we hit this little bounce, but it's not. So I just picked the wrong currency pair this afternoon. But like I say, if we can get down there a bit more, then I'll be able to start trailing the stop down a bit more. It is possible that that if we do start coming down more here, that I may be able to add to this position, but it's all been a bit sluggish today so far. So we've been talking about hiking up Mount Everest here in the trading room, because all the traders are listening into this as we're logged into the room at the same time. So I'll press pause for now. Okay, finally just back. As we can see, and I need to take this chart back, there's two things that have happened. Firstly, I got stopped out, so I had to go out and get my car, which was over a garage over in Wiltshire this afternoon. So I had Mike with me, and remember we were in this short, and I think when we left it, I just moved my stop down to 26 here. Remember I entered at 10 and 2 units at about 11, wasn't it? So I'm going to show you obviously the trades in a minute. And what I always talk about, we had visitors in our room this week. It's about risk to reward. So I lost on one unit from the entry at 10. That was 16 pips, and the other 2 units at 11. So that was 15 pips. But so then we came off the mic, and Mike, who one of my students, was here with me today, and so he drove me to Wiltshire to my garage, and I could pick up my car. And because I had a blowout on the tyre last night, and then just before we left, I said to Mike, and all of a sudden we saw this big turn up, and I said, we've got to get in. I've got to go in on this. This is a reversal. What's essentially happened is the euro or the dollar, we've rejected going lower on the news, the retail sales today. Now that should have pushed the dollar higher against these currencies, so therefore seeing the euro come down. But we didn't. We held. It didn't break any lower. It had the initial reaction off of the news, didn't then break any lower, and didn't come to new lows. So I had to go back in. So we just before we left, and I was laughing with Mike. I said, you know what'll happen? It'll just carry on going while I'm gone. So we've gone, and this is where we are now. So let's bring up the account. So I've literally just walked in the door and just doing this recording. So let's go through all of the trades that were here today. So right, so here was our losses. So I had 2 stop outs overnight from a swing that I'd attempted to dip my toe in the water. That was yesterday. So they'd effectively basically a break-even stop out, as you can see, £8 and £6. That was from yesterday. Got stopped out overnight. Then we had these 3 shorts. Oh, sorry, they were all at 11. Sorry, not 10. So the 11, 11.2, 11.7, all got stopped out at 26.5. So call it 15 pips. and so you manage your losses, and then what happens is when you get into a winner, then your winners far outpace your losses. Now, don't get me wrong, I managed to get in with 4 units, and then it's triggered a final one at 25.15 because I already had a buy stop up there anyway. I think I mentioned it earlier on in the video update, either that or I mentioned it to the guys in the room. So all of a sudden, you take lots of small losses to then get into a trade where you get a bit of a runner going. So all of a sudden now I'm quite happy, taking those small losses to then get a winner. So and in fact I might try and see what I can do with this euro dollar over the coming days. So it's late on a Friday now. What's the time? 6 p.m, 6:15 in the evening, and this is probably all had enough for now. So we'll see what's going to happen with this next week, but I think it's a good lesson for people. And as I was saying, we had visitors in our trading room this week, and all you do is you keep your risk low when the trades are not quite on. Keep the risk low. Manage the stops where you can. You take a couple of losses here and there. I had like a 2 pip stop out yesterday afternoon and a 7 pip stop out. It was all small stuff, and then you finally find something where all of a sudden the volatility picks up. You can see where you feel the market is then going, and then you can then try and run it, and away you go. Hopefully that's a bit of a learn there for you today, in the about risk to reward, really, and then finally when you do see that market, why did I think I said earlier on, if we get that turnaround today, the euro dollar's been pretty oversold on the daily charts. It's been going sideways. Let's go out to the daily charts here. Been going sideways for days, and don't get me wrong, maybe I'm completely wrong about this and it's just going to come back again next week, but just as easily it could want to have a little bit more of a relief bounce on the back of today's turnaround, and so we shall see, and we'll carry on trading in that direction if that's the way it wants to go for several days. So we shall see. Anyway, I shall leave that with you. Enjoy Children in Need tonight if you're watching it. This video is going out to you very late, and I do apologize for that, but that's just the way it went today with the way the markets were so terrible earlier on, and then all of a sudden they picked up late again this afternoon. So they really only picked up just as we were leaving, about 3 o'clock or so. So anyway, have a great weekend. Back in touch next week.